What's up everyone, Mariah Monetize here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing the coin shortage, the details, the problems, and the risks. I want to talk about my first experience when I was told to pay with exact change. I was at Taco Bell back in California and it was like my farewell, because even though there's Taco Bell in Puerto Rico, it just isn't the same as California Taco Bell. So I went to the drive-thru and they mentioned to pay with exact change. And my first thought was, okay, I've heard about businesses not wanting to exchange money because that money could potentially spread COVID. I probably shouldn't say the C word because I'll probably get demonetized, but you know what I mean. So I got to the window and I saw a sign that talked about there being a national coin shortage and that this was the reason why they requested to pay in exact change. I had no intention to pay with change. I typically don't pay with change just because I feel like it takes a long period of time. Very rarely will I try to get out the exact change. It kind of has to get to the point where my wallet is like getting too heavy and exploding and nothing else can fix. I just have way too much change. I paid with the credit card like I was going to anyways, and I was on my merry way. So this is the confusing part about the coin shortage. The coin shortage issue is that it's machines that make the coins. So the Fed is saying that they shut down the minting because of COVID, but I don't know, that's kind of doesn't make a whole ton of sense, mainly because it's machines that make these coins. So people are wondering, what are the repercussions of having a cashless society? Some people think that this is the new world order and that we're moving into, basically where all of our expenses and our spending habits are tracked through credit cards or debit cards. Is that a possibility? Yes, absolutely. But here's the good thing if we move to a cashless society. I personally believe that most people will be more inclined to use Bitcoin, and that is really exciting for Bitcoin. I'm a big believer of Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has a really bright future, and I'm excited for what's to come. This is the problem when you have a cashless society, or in this period of time we're actually transitioning potentially, right? There's a potential that this is like a test period. This is like a transition period. And so for me, I'm someone that always uses like a credit card to get points. The problem is that low income people typically don't have a credit or a debit card, because typically when it comes to having a debit card, you have to have a certain amount of money in the bank, and there are people that they cannot meet the minimum requirement to have a checking account to then have the ability to have a debit card. And in the same sense, they don't have built credit to have a credit card. So this is quite a hiccup for them because they are used to paying cash with everything. But then you can think about it from other perspectives. For example, like let's say it's a low income community and people don't have their own washer and dryers and they rely on going to the laundromat to get their clothes washed. And what is required most of the time? It's coins. And so the coin shortage can absolutely be a very negative situation for low income people. So that has been my experience with a business requesting the exact change. We went over the Federal Reserve claiming that there is no issue, there is no shortage. I mean, there is a shortage, but basically that once the mints get up and running, that everything will be back to normal. But can we actually trust them? This is the thing, is the trust issue comes in to play because of things that have been previously done. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful. And how do you believe that a cashless society will play a negative role? You can think about it in terms of there is no like cash birthday gifts anymore, right? There is no exchange of cash, and if everything is recorded, then everything is taxed, which just means that you might get taxed on that $100 bill that your grandma gives you for Christmas every year, which is quite disappointing. So that's all I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.